Hey folks, if you're looking for a comedy podcast fix, look no further than the brand new podcast, Green Eggs and Man? Co-hosts Wes and Adam do a comedic deep dive into the Dr. Seuss classic, Green Eggs and Ham, and try to figure out if the content is appropriate for Adam's baby on the way. Each week, they read a single page and try to come up with theories about how it could all be connected. Sometimes they talk about Star Trek, sometimes they talk about religion, sometimes they get visited by a haunted ghost girl. It's all on the table, folks. New episodes come out on Tuesdays until the book is finished, so tune in to see if Wes and Adam eat the green eggs and ham, or if the green eggs and ham eat them. Hey guys, how many times have you bought a CBD product at a gas station or liquor store, only to find out it was complete trash? There's so many CBD products on the market now, it's hard to tell snake oil from CBD oil. Let me tell you about Canary Cbd. These guys are super legit. All their products are 100% traceable, naturally vegan, gluten-free, have zero pesticides, grown and manufactured right here in the USA, baby. They have all of their lab certificates available on their website and via a QR code on all their products. Not only is Canary transparent and legit as fuck, their shit is tasty. Check out their website at www.canarycbd.com. That's CANARICBD.com. Use code BADETIQUETTE15 for 15% off your first order. Again, that's CANARICBD.com. You can follow on Instagram and Facebook at CBD Canary or Twitter at Canary Cbd.
Is it some devil that crawls inside of you?
I'll turn it down a little bit.
Turn down.
You cool if I keep it on? Just
Yeah.
ambience?
No, totally. I like
ambience.
Ambience.
That's the word, ambience.
Welcome to the Bad Etiquette Podcast.
It's exciting.
You know, thanks for letting me into your house.
No fucking doubt, man. Thanks for messaging me this morning, actually, because...
Did I message you this morning?
Yes, you did.
Oh, yeah.
You asked about a swapcast, and I thought was I thought it was a... like some form of like podcast social media.
Yeah, that's
I
what
thought you were going to turn me on to something.
I read it back and I was like, this is what it sounded like. Hold on, Nate's fucking texting us. Sean C? Yeah, Sean C. God, it's Sean Causby, folks. It's Jonathan Causby. But yeah,
fuck you, Nate.
Dude, people love his episode.
I know, I love this episode. He's a fucking kook and a half.
He was like, man, I was really spastic on that episode. And I was like, you're fucking like that all the time, fucker. Like, literally, just cannot sit anywhere. I forget where we were at dinner and the other night, because I just have dinner with him all the time. He's like my new girlfriend. And like two, maybe three times, I'd like look over and be like, dude, can you
stop eating the flowers on the plate? Nate.
Dude, God, man, I know,
hey,
right?
That's not bad. He goes, that's not that bad.
I know. And I'm like, who the fuck eats the flower? I don't even know what happened. I think I literally just I put I don't even remember what happened.
It looks like it was thrown into the ramen in the video.
I don't even remember the sequence of events. But it was like I was fucking with his food before he sat down, and then I threw, I don't know, maybe the flour came into mix somehow, and he's like, oh, well, kind of have to eat it now. And my first thought was, no, you fucking don't. You do not have to eat that flour. No one's making you eat this flour. So he fucking picks it up, just wolfs the whole damn
under
thing
that
down.
Same guys,
7 million views later.
If he got to-go sushi and he saw the little grass plastic thing under that same preface, I feel like he'd take that and eat it and be like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, not that bad.
You have any plastic allergies?
Yeah. How do you feel about BPA-related cancer? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, no. I was like, no shit, it's not that bad. You smoke like a chimney. You can't taste anything, dude. Nothing. You got nothing.
really
That's
funny.
fine. Hey man, tell me about yourself. Let's move on. Nate had his whole episode and he talked through the whole thing, which was lovely.
Shout out Nate. I do love him.
Someone messaged me and said he's great on the airwaves.
He's GR8 and 8.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
GR8. He doesn't deserve the love he gets.
Yeah, fuck Nate.
Oh, I can't wait to have like another one of his close friends on. And
So they can say the exact
same thing. Like, yeah, he's like, oh man, I hope Caleb doesn't go on anytime soon. Well, man, fucking tell me about yourself. Where'd you grow up? How old are you? Have you lived here long?
Yeah.
I've never met you until this year.
I know.
It's so weird.
Yeah, no, I mean, probably because I'm 22.
Yeah.
I'm fucking.
You're a little young guy.
I'm younger, but I've always hung out with older crowd just because.
Were you told you were an old soul when you were a kid?
I wasn't told. I just fucking. I couldn't. It was a thing where I didn't really get along with people my age, and it wasn't really exactly that I didn't get along with them. It was just that I never really quite felt in. I always felt a little more like mentally older.
Yeah. A little like mature or just like a little more like nuanced.
Not mature, but
not mature. Yeah.
No,
but like a little more seasoned.
A little, yeah. I've always been in like older stuff. I've always, I don't know. It baffles me that I can mention, no one my age knows about Hong Kong Phooey, and that really irritates me.
Hong Kong. I only know it from the Moldy Peaches song.
So,
the only reason I know those words in that order for any reason is the Nothing Came Out song by the Moldy Peaches.
What a cool name.
Isn't
Moldy
it pretty
Peaches.
cool? Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It, honestly, but Moldy Peaches smell great. Still smell good.
I've never smelt them, but the last time I saw Moldy Peach was on Maddie Matheson's show. He was like, "No one did clean up on my set."
Oh my
You ever
God.
watch Maddie Matheson?
Not his show,
It's a
but he's a
headache.
wild guy. It's a headache. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's just a lot of like, ah.
Yeah.
But
He's like one of those people that's gonna like end up like Chris Farley, like, oh, we knew it was coming, but it's still sad.
I shouldn't.
Dude's 3,500 pounds and just fucking
3,500. 3 weeks pounds. I have his cookbook. It's delicious.
Yeah. You ate the book? That's
I did
disgusting.
eat the book. What's the word? I've lived here my whole life though.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Megalito, and then I went to Vandenberg Middle Prison, and then I went to Cabrillo.
Oh, one of those Cabrillo cunts. What's it like to suck at football every year?
I was in the band.
What's it like to fucking suck at life, nerd? You were in band? How cute. What instrument did you play?
I played
the skin flute?
I played saxophone in the marching
all right.
band. And then my last little bit of high school was spent all on drums, and then following
cool.
that I ended up just fucking like buckling down on drums the rest of the way.
Hell yeah.
Like end of senior year out to everything else, and now I'm like,
do you consider yourself a drummer?
Yeah.
Is that like your discipline?
yeah, I'm a jazz drummer.
Wow.
And
That's
it's really funny to say that to people because people that don't know you will hear the words jazz
And they'll tune out
drummer,
immediately.
and they'll go, "That means you're good." It's like, you've never seen me play.
You might suck.
I might suck bad, or I might not. I don't know. It's so because it's funny. It's like I get that from a lot of people who do metal, but I look at metal and I'm like, I could never move my feet that fast.
The double bass drum blows my mind. I was literally trying to fuck around with a single kick drum at Nate's yesterday, and I was like, my ankle's sore already. This is ridiculous. I can't believe they do this at all. It makes no sense.
I'm not
But
even gonna find.
Are you a Ginger Baker fan?
No,
Really?
I don't have any knowledge on Ginger Baker. So I'm
Really?
not. Yes.
Okay, you said, when you said jazz drummer, the first person I thought of was Ginger Baker. He's this wild motherfucker. He was
loved jazz. I'm pretty sure it's jazz. That was like the discipline he loved. He wanted to be a jazz drummer. He was the original drummer for Cream. And
okay.
you know, and maybe I'll jog a memory here, but he was just like this big wild-haired, heroin-using fucking ginger man.
My favorite musicians use heroin.
Yeah, loved them black girls. I almost said black bitches, but it just didn't feel right.
That one felt good.
Nice burp.
I'm trying to catch all these LaCroix burps into the microphone.
They'll pick them up. If you've listened to any previous episode, you know like burps are a huge part of this show.
I'm going to keep going.
Don't fucking ruin the conversation. You can drink, but we're talking here.
I know. I'm listening.
Why would
I'm
you...
listening. I'm listening.
Okay.
I can multitask.
Yeah, well... so Ginger Baker is just this like fantastic, crazy drummer, and the only reason I didn't walk out of this house when you said jazz drummer right now is because of him.
That's fair.
You know,
that's fair.
Because most people talk about jazz. I'm like, this pretentious motherfucker. I swear to God.
It's like I love jazz, but I don't like the pretentious side of anything.
Can you imagine if you're like, my favorite part is the pretentious side. I love how
but that's the fucked up part is I have a lot of pretentious takes and a lot of pretentious interests in music particularly.
Well,
but that's the thing.
22-year-old white guy. Of course you do.
Of course I do.
I've
listened to Kanye West a few times.
Oh yeah. I think it's just Yee now.
He's just legally speaking, he's yay.
Yay? I said Yee. That's how fucking
subjectively that haircut is atrocious.
He has a bad haircut right now?
This is the kind of guy I am. I'm going to look back and be like, damn, that was tight.
That was actually pretty cool. I saw I saw a new Ford truck turn in front of me today, and I was like, what the hell is that? It was disgusting. But I thought to myself, it's going to look pretty cool in 20 years.
Are they, what's so different about them now? Why are they?
I don't know what kind it was. It wasn't a Ranger, it wasn't an F-150, and it wasn't a Raptor. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was like some weird, like, it looked like an old... I don't even know how to describe it. I wish I could describe it. Maybe I'll look a picture up and I'll figure it out. But it was gross. And I thought, like, it's going to look pretty cool in 20 years.
Probably.
Because, like, things that are, like came out when you were born, you tend to, like, look back on and, like, it's pretty fucking cool.
Oh, I know.
Like, the 90s are, like, our 80s for, like, our parents. I don't know how old your parents are, but, like, my parents probably thrived in the 80s and when they were in high school and then went to college and stuff. So, like, that was, like, their coming of age. Like, you know, my parents were, like, losing their virginity and shit in the late 70s and early 80s. They're like, yeah, hell yeah. I think that's what coming of age means. It's like, I'm at the age where I came.
I think it has to do with that. It's at least metaphorically sexual, if anything. Sexual. Yeah.
I don't know. But, so, okay, let's go back to the jazz. What spawned the interest in jazz?
It was it was the fact that I joined the jazz band in high school because I wanted to... It was actually originally my excuse to learn how to read percussion music and read drum set music. And so I joined the jazz band just so I can, like, further my music education. I've always been super interested in trying to be
that's really ambitious.
As musically versed as possible.
That's really cool because I like things that I want to be better at, and I do not do things to get better at them.
So this is just, I can only really do this with music though. And anything music related. I joined the jazz band to try to get better at reading, and then to help that, I joined the band for the musical that year because then I had a fire lit under my ass.
You had to perform it.
Yeah. And the show that year required so much attention from the percussionists. And so
what musical was it?
It was Mary Poppins.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, that gave me the excuse to actually put effort into learning how to read and following anyone that's ever done, like, any sort of theater show musically theater show in general. There's so much shit that goes on, but
It's a production, man.
that
Yeah.
music is all over the place. There's,
So there was a live band for the performance?
yes, Cabrillo used to.
Hence a musical?
Cabrillo used to do a live band. They don't anymore. I don't know if Lompoc still does their band or not, but
I never saw a Lompoc production ever.
love Lompoc Productions.
Really?
I actually helped out with a few of theirs after high school because I know the drummer, and there was some nights that he needed some subbing.
That's a trip, because like if I was out of high school and some people were like, hey, we're doing this thing at the school you used to go to, could you help us out? I'd go, fuck no, I will never go back to that place. I went to a lot of high schools. I do not want to go back to any of them.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
No doubt.
Even to help, I'm like, ugh. There's this thing like Maple here in the village. I went there for the last year and a half of high school, and they have this thing called a potluck where all the old students come in, bring food, and you mingle with the new students or whatever, and the old teachers.
Whatsoever.
It sounds really cool. And in my heart, I would love to go see those old teachers because they made a huge impact on my life. And I would love to see if maybe my old classmates were there. But I still have not gone. And I don't think I ever will. But it's a nice thought.
It is a nice thought. Even though I just said I wouldn't want to do that, it's more so particularly because I'm in that same boat now.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason I even went to go back to help with any of the shows was purely because I love the particular programs and I love the act of doing the things. Because at the same time, it's like half of it is walking in going, I'm helping with a high school production, and then the other half is going, I'm going to work again.
Okay.
So
There's
it's
a sense of
it's-
pride in there.
Yeah,
for it.
totally.
That's
Just because it's especially like nowadays, like just doing everything else that I've gotten to do ever since I got out of high school. At this
That's
point,
not that
now,
long
it's
ago
like
for you, actually. It's only 4 years.
6 years.
Oh, did you get out early?
I got out when I was 16.
I got out when I was 17.
So then, I did the math the other day, but I don't have the patience to do it right now.
That's okay.
It's not bad. It's not hard math. I just enjoy the conversation too much to want to think about numbers.
That's fine. Oh, right. Well, okay. That's that's insightful. Thank you. I had no idea. I just met you, and like I said, like you've been around. I've seen Moondog Radio like in suggested follows for a long time, and I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" I was like, "No one's listening to the fucking radio. It's all about podcasts now, motherfucker." And turns out it's you. And then I listened to an episode, and I was like, "This is really cool." And I listened to it for the first time today.
Hell yeah.
Embarrassingly enough.
Well, thank you.
And I was like, God damn, this shit's really cool. Yeah. And then I was like, this is kind of what I would love to do. Like not totally, but part of me was like, every once in a while, I want an episode or like want to do like a music interspliced like podcast. And I know people are saying, that's radio, idiot. But it's not when you can do whatever you want and say whatever you want and do it to your own. There's no producer telling you what to do, and there's no fucking ad slots you have to fill and certain things like that. So I just wanted to do like something kind of like that. So I was really enjoying it, and I was like, I could totally see like getting to listen to this like once a week or something, you know, and just like, oh, maybe be exposed to new songs.
Sure.
There's a song, "Don't Roll Those Red Eyes at Me." Is that what it is called?
Yeah, don't roll those bloodshot eyes at me.
Yeah,
Wynoni Harris.
Yeah, that was my favorite song in that whole fucking episode. I'd never heard that before. That was so cool. I think I'd heard every other artist before, but not them. Who was it?
Wynoni Harris?
Wynoni Harris.
Yes.
And I would really liked at the end, you said that you're going to do some like specific episodes, and you mentioned Nina Simone. I love Nina Simone. Huge fan. She'd probably hate me because I am like a red-blooded white male, and that's like, she like used to scalp them and like wear them on stage.
Are we gonna kill them if we have to? And they went, yeah. Have you seen that footage?
I don't think so. But is it?
It's
before the Mississippi.
That's after. So,
okay.
So Nina's like
up there
number
for you?
one. For
yeah,
me.
yeah. One of my favorite. You know, and I really don't have like a huge knowledge about her. Just kind of, it's a little vague. I watched
Sure,
documentary, but I think Nina Simone, the reason is kind of funny, is from a movie. There was a Point of No Return with Bridget Fonda. In that, her mom loved Nina Simone, and she like had lost her mom or something, or she like was separated from mom, but it made her think of like a nice, happy place. And from that movie came out before we were born. You know what I mean? So it's been around for a while, and I watched it when I was young, and I was like, God damn, Bridget Fonda's really hot, and she likes
You
Nina
tell me there's a
Simone.
movie where a girl becomes a fan of Nina Simone?
No, it's a movie where a girl is a fan of Nina Simone, and it made me, a little impressionable pubescent boy, a fan of Nina Simone because Bridget Fonda's sexy ass was into it.
I need to watch this now. What's it called again?
It's called
Bridget Fonda likes Nina Simone?
Yeah, it's
I'll
called
look
Point
it
of No
up.
Return. It's based on the French neo-noir film.
See, the Point of No
literally
Return is where you go when you
Nikita, I
become a
think.
Nina Simone fan. You're
What's
a Nina
that?
Simone fan for life.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
no, that woman, though, is like, I'm trying not to use boring words. Like, that woman is amazing. She's incredible, but her life and her career are so intriguing because she really wasn't as popular as she is posthumously.
Yeah.
Because she was so radical and so involved in the civil rights movement, she had a hard time getting like pop culture success.
I bet.
because she
Who
was
ran
so,
pop culture back then? White people.
A bunch of
White people, bunch of old white dudes.
a bunch of old Jewish white men. Yes,
Oh, okay. So nothing's changed.
Hollywood. Nothing's changed. So there's a lot of Steens out there.
A lot of Bergs.
Shout out to Andy Samberg. Hot Rod is a really funny movie.
And he is married to Joanna Newsom, the babyest babe.
Nice,
Dude,
Nice.
she doesn't have any social media, never like her music isn't on Spotify. She was a harp. I don't know what a harpist, a harpy.
Yeah, that's great.
Literally would drive around with a giant fucking harp in her like Subaru Outback because clearly, what else is she gonna drive? But just a fantastic indie music. I love. She has this really and another. There was another artist that I ended up fucking
Which one?
finding.
What did you say?
There was another artist I ended up
Which
finding.
artist? Sorry.
Joanna Newsom
Okay.
from a movie. She has this song in The Strangers, the horror movie, the home invasion movie.
Right over my head.
Well, guess what? My movie podcast is coming out next year, so you'll see.
Look at
I'll be
that.
talking about it.
Joanna Newsom.
Joanna
Nice.
Newsom. Horror movie got me into Joanna Newsom, and a neo-noir movie got me into Nina Simone. Keep it coming.
It's a good topic. Write that down.
I will.
Write
You know
that down. Write that shit down.
You know what? Hold your topic or hold your thought. I gotta piss again like a motherfucker. You see that giant ass coffee? I drank all that before I came here.
You did. You did. That was actually close to full when you got in here.
Whoops.
Yeah, I can wait.
You can wait?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to talk to the people while I'm gone? You have your own show. You know how to do it. You can say whatever you want.
That's a good point. I'll wait for you.
You wait for me?
I'll wait
Okay,
for you.
that's fine. I'll pause her. That's pretty fucking cool. The only reason I even tolerate Kanye is because I've been dating someone who loves Kanye.
That's fair.
He's grown on me.
It's a very marvelous feat for someone to have to overcome Kanye because trust me, as a diehard Kanye West fan, that guy it's an abrasive culture to be a part of. But then eventually you catch yourself in the car going, "Hurry up with my damn croissants!"
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
it's really embracing though when you finally do just bite the bullet and you're like, "Oh, this guy's not that bad at all." Because then eventually you find your Kanye songs. Mm-hmm.
I used to
I had a
totally
dream I could
not.
buy my way to heaven.
I don't think there's anything in my life that I haven't once hated that I inevitably ended up liking or growing on me. Everything from pop punk to Kanye and certain sports. I watch sports, country music, black people, all kinds of things.
I saw a video on the way up here, and it was the public speaker Fran Lebowitz.
I didn't maybe see a picture. No.
Well, she just said, she goes, "It's not that you shouldn't say racist things. You shouldn't think them." And then the guy goes, So what am I supposed to do? Not be racist?
Oh my god. Have you ever been around someone who's like sincerely racist? It gets uncomfortable quick.
I don't know.
You know,
I've been around a lot of, people that make
off-color jokes.
Sure.
No pun intended.
But,
not like Klan members or like Nazi.
Oh, dude,
people.
there's the funniest fucking old Howard Stern bit where Bill Maher gathered 4 people together to talk about like politics and shit. Mm-hmm. And the whole point was they got like 3 intellectually disabled folks like Beetlejuice and shit. and then a Klan member.
Oh yeah.
And so you got like people like Beetlejuice just saying like, oh yeah, man, I don't want abortion to happen, and then there's fucking the Ku Klux Klan guy who's like, no, we need less Mexicans. There's like 50,000 of them in my city.
Oh my God.
And Bill Maher fucking running the whole thing. Of course, it's on Howard Stern's show. So whenever Howard's Bill, ask him about this. And then, the guy being racist, then Robin like, Oh my God.
I'd love to watch that.
Robin is probably the best cast member on the show. Yeah,
without a doubt.
Like, 90s or I think it was early 2000s because they had a question about stem cell research on it.
Oh, okay.
Reminded me of that episode of South Park where I
know what you're talking about.
Christopher Reeves, was that who it was? He was the old Superman that fell off the horse. Yeah,
Christopher Reeves. Yeah, you're right.
He started
eating like the
doing stem cell. Yeah, he started breaking the fetuses and eventually he was like, I'm gonna throw this car. but before it was just I'm gonna walk again.
Doesn't it like create like a whole new like what was it, like a Burger King or like a whole, they like clone like a whole building with the stem cells in it or something?
Yeah.
This is so old, dude. This is like scratching like the barrel of my memories right now.
I think you're right though. I think it was producing like a new Burger King or something like that.
Crazy shit. Yeah, fucking Beetlejuice is hilarious.
I like the episode where the guy calls and he's like, "Hey, Beat." He's like, "What's up?" The guy's like, "Fuck you, Beetlejuice." And he's like, "Hey, you fucking cocksucker, fucking ya piece of shit." Howard goes, "Oh, he's speaking Spanish." Speak Spanish to him, Beat. And he goes, "You ya cocksucker."
One of my favorite clips is he's like walking through the hallway and this paparazzi is like, "Hey, Beetlejuice, I like your shirt." And he's like, "Oh, you like my shirt, you piece of shit." It's just like the quickest little throwaway gag, like just remark. And fucking Joel Gum sent it to me and showed it to me like 6 years ago, and it is like my favorite little like inside joke with him. Oh, you like my t-shirt, you piece of shit.
I know the classic is a spell red, LSTER.
Red.
Have you seen that one?
Huh?
It's Howard Stern again, but it's the Battle of the Wits.
Oh well, I've lost already.
They keep asking Beetlejuice to spell red, and he just keeps spelling some variation of Lester.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Later on they go like, what number comes between 2 and 4? And he goes 37.
37. He just jumps it right up.
Yeah, like 37. They're like, Beetlejuice. Hold on. Wow, that show is.
This is probably so boring for like people who are like, I haven't seen who's Beetlejuice. What's Howard Stern? The guy who looks like Joey Ramone. Does he? He looks like Joey Ramone. He looks like one of the. He looked like one of the Ramones.
No.
The Ramones are all dead except Marky, but who gives a fuck? And CJ, who gives a fuck?
Howard Stern.
I read a Howard Stern book when I was a kid.
You read a Howard? Who lets you as a kid read a Howard Stern book?
My parents are very. I almost said liberal, but that my parents are like very open-minded, very like. I don't even what kind of style parenting would you call it? Like, there was no censorship of anything.
Sure.
I was not shielded from anything. I was not sheltered in any way, shape, or form from anything.
You like my shirt, you piece of shit.
This was many years ago. It's actually over in Santa Maria where they have like the Harley Davidson or like the motorcycle shop next to like Turner's Outdoorsman and things. There's like this
right there on the highway.
Yeah,
right off the highway.
Yeah, on like fucking Presker Lane or whatever.
Yeah,
there was this like random box of old books someone was throwing out, and I was with my dad, and he was like, my dad. I think my dad used to steal shit a lot. But so he
That's
was
funny.
like, oh, stuff in a dumpster that people are throwing out. Look at all this. This is all these books. And he just like grabbed a bunch of books, and like one of them was Howard Stern. And I was like, I was a little kid, so I was like, oh my God, Howard Stern. That's the one who does the show on E at night and girls get naked on it. Because I was like probably like 9-10 years old, like just learning to jack off for the first time. So I used to watch Howard Stern, wait for the fucking slutty bitches or like the hookers or strippers or whoever just got randomly naked. It used to be like super sexual. And so I was like, oh shit, I'm going to take this Howard Stern book. I think it was called Miss America.
Good Lord. That guy's a fucking A. As funny as as much as I'm like, oh, Howard. That guy's he's a monster. He's a savage.
Savage monster.
He's gnarly.
Yeah.
My mom doesn't like two people. It's two people that I love: Howard Stern and Andrew Dice Clay.
Who doesn't like the Dice Man?
My mom.
Oh, what an
Little
angel.
Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider, sat down beside her, said, "Hey, what's in the bowl, bitch?"
Dude, there's this fucking special. I think it's the one where it's called Undisputed.
Sure.
Heavyweight champ of comedy or something like that. Just so fucking savage, so good. Dice Clay, I had no idea. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like growing up, I think I had seen who he was like physically, and I was like, that guy looks retarded. Who the fuck dresses like that? And now I'm like, oh my God, there's the Godfather himself.
Who dresses worse, Andrew Dice Clay or Steven Seagal?
Steven Seagal, because he doesn't even fucking realize. Well, you know what? That's not true. Because sometimes he wears those kimonos. They look comfortable as shit.
Those do. That guy. He looks like the Michelin Man grew a goatee. You ever? I tried to watch that newer Seagal that's on Netflix.
What is it?
Sniper Special Ops.
Oh, that's a fucking amazing name. Jesus Christ. What an insult to snipers and special ops.
It's funny
forces
because most of the cast is like already middle-aged, so they had to have like the general be like fucking 90 years old just for contrast.
Dude, I don't think there's a good thing in this world related to Steven Seagal.
Yes, there is. His presence. Oh, and the story of him just shitting his pants on stage, but getting put into a choker hold.
Oh, yeah, I love that you called it a choker hold. What do you... Tell me more. I think I have.
So some stuntman on whatever movie was essentially going like trying to have this offhand thing because I guess the rumor went around that
his martial arts were better than his.
So he said he's immune to chokeholds,
which is bullshit.
So the
no one's immune
was
to
like,
chokeholds.
all right, let's figure it out, and they got them all. They got them all ready. They got the hold ready, and said, all right,
yeah,
whenever. And Steven Seagal goes already, and so the stuntman activated it, and as soon as he did, Steven Seagal passed out and he shit and pissed himself.
I'm not surprised at all. Dude, that's fucking hilarious. I'll tell you right now, I've not passed out being choked and almost shit my pants. And a little pee comes out and you're like really pressing. Like,
sure.
Because one of the instincts
There's nothing wrong with a little dribble.
Yeah, a little dribble, whatever. I always got a little dribble in there. Gotta get.
If you're not walking out of the
odor.
bathroom with a little dribble going down your pant leg, I don't trust you.
Yeah, because that means you were in there shaking the hell out of your dick, and you might as well have just been jacking off at this point. Because I don't want you sitting there in the bathroom going with your wiener.
That's fine. That's a good sound. Fucking boing. All right, clean up.
I'm dry, Dad. Pull the pants up.
It's the episode of South Park where Butters kept having wet dreams and they kept like bottling it.
Oh,
and
what
they
the
ended up.
fuck?
This is a newer one. It's like the subplot of the episode, but
that sounds lovely.
They kept bottling it up, and they eventually sold it as like the new Gatorade. Because the whole thing was that football. I think Randy was upset that football was getting more gentle. And so he got sarcastic and was like, they might as well just be wearing bras and catching balloons and hugging each other. And they all took it seriously. And he became the coach of a game called Sarcastiball. So everyone just started drinking.
Dude, this is so fucking good. Because that's a real thing. Like, people are actually complaining about how gentle football's become. And I know for me as like a new football fan, I think it's too gentle. I'm like, what's this roughing the passer shit? Why is no one attacking the quarterback? What the fuck is going on? Where are all the hits? You know, when I watched football as a kid, I go, oh, they're dead. Oh, he hit him. Oh, he's not playing.
He's paralyzed.
Career is over.
Let's go.
When I was a kid, people used to get CTE. They'd kill their families. You never have to hear about it, and they'd go on to win the fucking postseason championship.
You remember Elephant in the Room? Patrice O'Neal.
I do, but I got to tell you, it's been so long since I've seen Patrice, like his stand up.
I try to watch him like every 2 weeks now.
That's beautiful. He's another one of those like great. Who was I talking to? I was talking to someone recently. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think I was doing a podcast with my fucking jiu-jitsu coach yesterday, and I was saying like all the best comedians, like the greatest of the greats, are bald and or black.
Bill Hicks is not bald. He wasn't bald.
He's oh my god! I can't believe you
Norm
just said
Macdonald
Bill Hicks. You
wore a
are a pretentious white boy. Fucking listen. Norm is a god. Bill Hicks. The modern comedy that we like wouldn't be around without him.
That's true.
So I respect them. But as far as best of all time, no. You got Carlin, Pryor, Rock, Chappelle, Louis, and Burr. And Patrice, those are like to me like the best comedians.
You said Carlin, ever. You said George Carlin, Chris Rock. You said
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor. You said Dave Chappelle,
Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal, Bill Burr.
Where's Norm Macdonald land on your list?
Well, here's the thing: is he did a lot of like comedic acting, and as far as like stand up goes, I wasn't really exposed to his stand up until way later, and he's up there. He's top 50 without a doubt. I think like
he has such a he's more of a funny person than anything else. I think is probably the best way I can explain it.
Yeah. Do you ever?
Because it took a while for me to come around to his stand up, but now I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah,
this is incredible.
It took enough pretentious white guys to tell me that he was good to be like,
that's fair.
It's pretty fucking good.
That's fair.
I like
it's
this
like,
guy. You're right.
I'm
convinced
now. At least 7 white guys told me so.
Yeah, at least.
That's how I feel about Bill Burr.
Oh, really?
It's just everybody that I know is just like Bill Burr.
This is the reason I started the podcast.
But the thing is like,
these are the reason I do solo episodes.
It's funny because I only listen to Bill Burr after I listen to Come Town.
I never have listened to Come Town. You're like the 5th person to suggest it to me on my own show.
That's hysterical.
Not really.
It's yeah.
That's not funny. What the fuck?
It's the best way. The reason I got into it is because I was doing a lot of like door dashing and a lot of driving in general, and just putting that on instead of just music made me feel like I was like hanging out with my friends because they were just making dick jokes the whole time.
Oh yeah, I don't listen to music like hardly ever. I listen to music on my way to jiu-jitsu and
Solid.
On my way to like, and when I'm in Lompoc. Okay. When I'm driving through Solvang, because I have to drive through Solvang all the time, traffic's crazy. So I roll my windows down and I try to scare the tourists and just play like just loud metal or like some obnoxious music, some shit that just makes me feel good.
Sure.
When I get into Lompoc to, when I have to drive to the hood to go to my mom's house, fucking scare all the vatos away, hopefully, so they don't shoot at my car. Yeah. Or maybe it causes them to, who knows? I haven't got any bullets yet. And on my way to jiu-jitsu. So I get all fucking amped up to get choked out.
That's funny.
Other than that, it's all podcast, Tony.
For a schmuck like me, just by face value, what would be the first podcast that you would recommend that I listen to after this?
After this?
Besides the Bad Etiquette podcast and besides Come Town.
That's a great question. I think personally, I would just go off like my list of personal favorites. I know I just said personal twice. Tuesdays with Stories, which is Mark Normand and Joe List. Cool. I think Mark Normand is going to be one of those people that we look back on and say he's one of the greatest of all time. Sincerely.
Sure.
He's like a modern Seinfeld, and he opens for Seinfeld a lot too.
what's the deal with podcasts?
Yeah. His like jokes per capita and style and like ability to like just actually make jokes and write jokes is, I don't know of anyone on the same playing field as him. I think as popular as he is, I still think he's underrated.
Sure.
So I'd recommend Tuesdays with Stories.
Okay.
I'd also recommend Ari Shafir's Skeptic Tank.
Ooh, I like Ari.
I love Ari. He is probably, I could probably credit him and Bill Burr with like me even wanting to be a comedian.
Sure.
He's Ari's the person who I found Tom Segura through, who I found Joe Rogan through, like who I found all these like really excellent comedians that like people love right now. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't have found them if it wasn't for his show. This Is Not Happening on Comedy Central.
Oh, no doubt.
So
This is not happening.
The thing I like about Skeptic Tank is
Funny
much
stories.
like the story show he had, storytelling show, is they're very specific episodes. He'll invite someone on to talk about car accidents or talk about international travel or to talk about like just STDs or he had Mickey Gall, who's a UFC fighter, MMA fighter, but he fights for the UFC. Had him talk about professional fighting, you know, and just it gets very specific, and you get a lot of insight from him because he does really. It reminds me of your show, kind of, the Moondog, because he has his intro and outro, and there's a great music spliced in.
He's putting music in there?
He puts music in there,
yeah.
so it starts with a song usually.
So it's called what is it?
Skeptic Tank,
Skeptic Tank.
like septic tank, but skeptic.
That's a good name. Because
like
I
the
heard you said it twice prior, and the second time I thought.
I need subtitles
brain.
in real life because sometimes the words just blend together and people don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Oh
don't know how to
man, I
enunciate.
have the worst. At least I feel like I do. I'll say something to someone and then I'll, usually customer service, have a good day, and I'll, I'll be like, yeah, you too. At least that's how I hear it, but I think it came out just fine.
I know what you're talking about. Like it sounds like I'm leaving someone and I'm trying to be polite and I'll have like, use my manners and be like, yeah, you too. The thoughts there, the words, I don't know what the fuck happened.
Practice, yes. Execution, yeah.
I remember when I first started the podcast, I couldn't talk that long because it hurt my vocal cords. It hurt my throat. It used to get my like tongue dry. Like I would literally be in pain at the end of it. I'm like, I don't know how to talk this long. What the fuck?
We're just doing solo episodes?
Solo episodes. This is before
Wilbur
even like
episodes?
had a lot of guests and stuff. Well, thankfully, like when you have a guest on, you can kind of like rack it back and forth and be like, here,
sure.
Oh,
no doubt. Speaking of, back to Bill Burr and you said that he was inspiring you to do solo episodes. Yeah. Like I said, he only comes on after I listen to Cumtown, and I'll usually now Cumtown is background noise. I'll put Cumtown on while I'm like, editing stuff. Yeah, and then
that's kind of
I'll hear, hey, it's Bill Burr. Welcome to the Monday Morning Podcast. I just took a dump.
Yeah. That's how I kind of like used to start the Bad Etiquette podcast too, like with the same kind of energy and same like, hey, what's going on? It's Dallas Bronson. Thanks. Sure.
I mean,
the Bad Etiquette
totally
podcast.
grabs your attention. I mean, I know that's given. I know I'm just reiterating like what everyone already knows about the show.
But there's people who
basic,
don't know.
But
you got to sell it to the people who don't listen.
That's
to
true.
It.
I have enjoyed every part of it that I've listened to, though.
I was actually just talking.
He's a good storyteller.
He's a good storyteller.
Bill Burr is the kind of person. The more I hear about him, and the more I see his face, my smile gets bigger every time I hear or see him.
That makes me happy.
And also,
what?
I watched the episode of Chappelle the other night where they did the. It was the.
Oh, he's in Chappelle's show.
Yeah.
I haven't seen all Chappelle's show. I'm a poser.
Well, did you ever see the episode where they did that like racially backwards, like?
Yeah, that you just described every episode. already.
Yeah, that's right.
You got to be more specific.
It was, I'm trying to figure out the words. Like they had this whole case where the cops fucking like cracked really hard on this white guy and.
No,
they
premise already is
they broke into his house.
bulletproof.
They don't do anything to him, and then like when they're interrogating him, they're like, they're trying to say shit. And he's like, I don't know. And Bill Burr like puts a cigarette in the guy's forehead. And they're treating him like the police would treat black guys.
Yeah.
And then there's Tron, who's the drug dealer in the show, and they're treating him like a white guy. So he's like in the courtroom testifying.
This is
and
hilarious.
He goes, "Can I smoke rocks when I get out of prison?" And the fucking guy running the tape goes, "Absolutely not." He's like pointing at the recorder, but like saying like yes with his head. Tron's like, "Oh, you're right.
Shit.
That would be a bad thing to do."
Oh my god, dude! I would love to fucking see that episode. I could watch all of Chappelle's show. It's one of those things where I started watching it from the beginning earlier this year, and I was like, "Oh man, I want to savor this." There's not a lot of it, and so many of my favorite people are in this fucking
Paul
show.
Mooney, all the Paul Mooney.
Oh, well, how crazy cool is that? Fucking Donnell Rawlings.
Donnell Rawlings, Charlie Murphy's
Charlie
great.
Murphy.
Dave is
Eddie Murphy.
obviously
You can
funny.
put Eddie Murphy up there too.
Sure.
As far as,
Snoop Dogg is in one of the episodes. He played a
Funniest.
puppet with gonorrhea, so
damn.
that was funny.
Every time I watch some Dave Chappelle stuff, I realize, like, dang, black people are cooler. Dude made vaping cool, like the little puff bars.
Oh, he fucking did.
He fucking
he
did.
did.
I didn't even ever. You
When he
wouldn't
was jeweling on that one,
dude. Yeah. Fucking.
Oh my! Well, also the big thing too is he was buff in that special.
Yeah.
And that guy was looking smooth as fuck. Of course, he made jeweling cool.
dude.
I do gotta say one thing though.
You can say anything
because Chappelle is in. He's in the news again, and
what happened?
I mean, did you watch the new special?
Yeah, it was great. I mean,
I thought it was great too. It's
I've seen funnier. It was a really
Sure,
powerful
yeah.
story, and
I
some
was just-
huge laughs in there too. I'm not going to deny it.
Oh my god, that Clifford joke.
That's pretty good.
It's
Which one?
really good.
He kept circling around.
I'm gonna circle around that one. But he, I don't know. I was just upset at one factor. It was like you didn't have to apologize to trans people again. Is what I thought. I thought it was a redundant idea, and just personally, I've been kind of off Chappelle's train for a minute after he got the show back and he made that special about getting the show.
Yeah,
And he was
the like 9-minute one.
yeah, I think it's called Redemption Song, and it seemed like
okay,
it was
okay,
going to be so great. And then at the end, he was like, "Got my show back. Thanks for boycotting me. We got the money." But it's always great to watch David defeat the Goliath,
Yeah.
and that's what happened. Literal David Chappelle defeated the Goliath. Comedy Central. He got his fucking money.
Was
You know,
Goliath
but-
a Jewish character in the Bible by chance?
I don't know. He might have been.
Okay, I was just curious because
Goliath is
I knew there was some like TV execs, so I didn't know if it was like super literal, like Dave versus Goliath.
Dan Olmeyer at NBC firing Norm Macdonald for making OJ jokes on the Weekend Update.
That's fun stuff to rediscover. Things
oh
that like
my
I didn't
God.
realize were happening when I was a kid. Like, holy shit!
Oh, I
This is
know.
great. Things that were beyond my comprehension.
Sure. I recently went back and watched that Ashley Simpson incident on SNL.
Oh, what's that?
She was she had a sore throat that night, and so they were gonna just
Not have
use her
sing-
acapellas, and she was gonna lip sync on SNL. But the wrong song
That's
played.
fucked.
and her lyrics came in, she didn't realize, and she tried to dance around the stage, and she cut a little jig, and then she ran off stage, and the band kept playing.
Oh my god,
And
that's
even
death.
I think after that, Lorne Michaels, they asked Lorne, like, has anyone ever ran off like that? And Lorne goes, no one's ever run off the stage like that.
That's pretty cool,
in
though.
history.
Reminds me, there's some really cool like moments because I can't remember the last time SNL's been terribly good. Actually, the only times I can think of that I've enjoyed SNL lately have been Burr hosting, Chappelle hosting, and Sergil Simpson playing.
I liked the Jack White performance.
That was a long time ago.
That was
Are we talking about
earlier
not
this
Laser
year.
Radar? Oh, not
Earlier
okay.
this
Oh,
year.
okay.
Yeah, Laser Radar.
Oh, you know what? No. I'm lying to you. I did see that. My buddy Aiden, who's a huge Jack White fan, he actually got me a ticket with him to go see the Raconteurs in Santa Barbara.
Back in 2019.
Yeah. Were you there?
I wasn't there, but there was a really good run of concerts that year at the Santa Barbara Bowl.
I think I went to
3 great concerts in the span of a month at that venue.
Who did I see? I saw I saw Father John Misty there too.
Oh, fun.
No?
It
was okay.
There's one song I liked by him.
Tickets.
I'd assume that maybe at least he put on a good show, but I'm not surprised.
I don't know. I've seen some bands I didn't think I'd like there.
Did you like the Raconteurs at least?
Oh my God, they were amazing. The fact that Jack White isn't like on the cover of everything always, like he's one of those people that's like, oh, you're almost single-handedly like keeping music pure. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I know there's a lot of people like that out there, but the respect and like admiration I actually wanted to play guitar because of that man, and I am not a musician.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? I went and like got a guitar. I don't know how the fuck did I get the guitar. Someone give me a guitar.
My dad stole
I think. Oh, that's right. My buddy Chase Becerra gave me his old fucking. It was like a old. What's the Gibson knockoff called?
Epiphone?
Yeah, Epiphone. Yeah, it was an old Epiphone. Like, it was
want a cookie, by the way?
I would love a cookie. I didn't know if I could get crumbs everywhere here.
I'll take care of everything later. It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
it's beautiful.
I can
Also,
grab you a napkin if you want.
One of the best. You know, I just use this tissue here.
Oh, that's
I just
right.
want to be a little more respectful.
That's fair. I appreciate that. I know I'm going to make a
people
mess.
are cunts about crumbs, man. The people who say these cookies are gross don't deserve the right to vote.
I don't think a lot of people
Deserve the right
I
to
think
vote.
voting is a very I don't know. If we could act like adults about voting, then maybe I'd think about it, but at this point I don't.
First of all, I committed voter fraud in the last election. There's no way these elections are legitimate. I got 2 votes. One mailed in, completely different than the one I did in person.
Really?
Yeah.
I forgot to put in my in-mail ballot. And then I just because people ask me for some reason like it's their fucking business. Did you vote? And I said to a few people, I went, I think I'm just going to keep the ballot as a souvenir because it says Caitlyn Jenner on it. That's one of the funniest things that's ever happened so far, ever.
Yeah, I committed voter fraud in the last presidential election.
Was she on the Justin Bieber roast? Where she said, and if you don't like that, you can suck my dick. If I have one. Was that the one?
She said something hilarious. I like that Caitlyn Jenner is like one of the few people that like culturally as a country, everyone just refers to as a she now.
Caitlyn Jenner is a strong and beautiful independent woman. I think she is a hero. Did you ever see that? Did you see that season of South Park where the PC bros come to town? And
The like big ass dudes with the glasses.
And Kyle was like, I don't think Caitlyn Jenner's that great, and they were like, "What the fuck did you say, bro?" Said Caitlyn Jenner's not great. She's a hero and she's an inspiration.
That was a fucking good joke Chappelle had. Was Caitlyn Jenner's joke.
She wasn't even a woman for a year, and she won Woman of the Year. That bitch never even had her period.
Well, and then the fucking.
That's a good one. That's a good.
That's like if I was presenting a BET Awards.
That's funny.
That's pretty fucking funny.
Did you ever hear Tracy Morgan's joke about Caitlyn Jenner?
No.
So he came back after
I struggle with Tracy Morgan. I struggle to find that man funny, but I believe he is.
It took me a minute.
I believe he is.
I think it's because you can't fucking understand him.
That's true.
It's
It's because
half the
accident.
jokes are like blah, 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 blah.
He's like Beetlejuice. He looks like a Beetlejuice on on a good diet or something.
So it was after the accident.
Okay.
And it was like his comeback show, and he goes, I'd fuck the shit out of Caitlyn Jenner. She's hot. And he said, he was like, I'll fuck her so hard her asshole falls out her ass. He was wearing a coat, so he's like, it'll look like this. And he pulls his hand inside the coat, and so it's just all limp. I have to go to the emergency room. Go, I got a problem. They go, what's your problem? My ass falling out of my ass. They go, what's your name? Caitlyn. They said, "What is it, Caitlyn?" I think the punchline was they just go, "What is it?" And he goes, "Bruce." I watched half of that special. I think it's still on Netflix. That one's good.
I've seen one. You know whose special was a Netflix special and it got taken off of Netflix?
The Louis special?
No, but
because I can't find the Beacon Theater on there anymore.
Live at Beacon Theater. That's
either that or Hilarious. I don't remember which one's not.
Is Hilarious the newest one? No. Hilarious isn't the newest one. That was
Are you thinking of the one that he self-released or the newest one on Netflix?
No. The self-released one.
That's called Sincerely.
Sincerely.
Yes.
I was gonna say if you can't have that, I have a copy of it.
I do as well.
Copies. Okay, yeah, I bought that shit.
I
bought that and I bought Doug Stanhope's.
I got really used to eating in restaurants alone. People giving me the middle finger.
Dude, fuck, he's playing in Oxnard tomorrow.
It's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Have you heard of his stage setup?
No.
Apparently, from what I read, his stage setup is a giant light up sorry sign.
That's funny. That's like
Holy
a prop.
shit.
He's a prop comic now.
Yeah, he's the new Carrot Top. Or Carrot Top's the old Louis C.K.
Oh my god. Fucking, he's one of those people that like every time I watch, I go, "Oh yeah, I'm nothing."
Oh,
I'm like, God damn, dude is so fucking. Dude is literally like, in terms of like, oh, why didn't I make that into a joke? I thought that exact same thing, and then just does it perfectly.
Oh, dude, the joke about the kid that's bullying his daughter at school. He goes, "This is a real kid in this city, so I can't say his name. So let's call him Jazandapus." And he like helped at recess, and he was like waiting for the kid to fucking like attack his daughter, and the kid like walked up to his daughter and like grabbed her arm, and she went and he ran out over to him and grabbed him and was like, "If you ever touch my daughter again, I swear." And he starts like screaming, so he's just like, I let go of him, I walked away.
Oh my god, what a dream though, to like actually like get, someone's bullying your kid. I don't even have any kids, and I fantasize about like avenging their honor if it's ever been besmirched.
No doubt. No, it's
what's that one movie? Was it Prisoners? Is it Prisoners? There's this movie that came out a couple years ago with Hugh Jackman and
Logan.
Paul Daly. Paul Daly?
No,
Paul
that's
Dano.
not Logan.
Paul Dano and
Jackman is a huge jacked man.
Huge jacked man. He's not that big.
No, you're right.
He's probably like my height. Steroids. Some good ass steroids.
No doubt.
I love people that pretend like the actors aren't on steroids. When they have like the men's fitness I used to buy men's like magazines with like, Hugh Jackman on them and things like that. And like, oh my god, like how do I get
aficionado with Joe Rogan on it?
Dude, that was such a fucking like happy accident.
I saw a video with Bert Kreischer talking about it today. Like, I want to get on the cover.
Life goals. Fucking life goals.
Was it a good read though?
It was more just like a highlight on him, or like a Rolling Stone kind of thing.
Sweet.
But I was enjoying it. It was fine. It was nothing that I don't already know because it was so fucking up Rogan's ass in my personal life. So it was fine. It was cool to see someone I like on the cover of something I like to do. I almost brought a cigar here. I almost brought two, but I realized I'm running kind of low. I need to go get some
That's fair.
Some Bovita packets for my fucking humidor. They're getting all dried out.
I like the words. I want to get into cigars now.
Dude, it's so fun. It's so easy. You don't even have to do it all the time. I don't even know why I started smoking cigars. I forgot. I literally forgot. I didn't smoke my first like cigar sincerely, like start to finish, until New Year's Eve.
Oh, if any occasion's a great occasion, it's New Year's Eve.
It's pretty great.
Oh, I gotta put this blanket back over. Cool. Dude, I'm taking my shoes off. I don't know why I didn't do this
Get
sooner.
comfy, man. We're
Literally
just chilling.
in my
We're just
fucking
talking.
house with
I want to
my
know more
shoes
about you,
on.
dude. What compelled you to start Moondog Radio?
I was.
What's the name? Tell me everything about it.
Okay. There's a lot of facets, but they all mean nothing. So
Perfect. Tell me all of them.
the idea came from, I was working in Santa Barbara. I had a job that I did not like, doing a lot of driving back and forth. And while I was working at this place, I was listening to a lot of this radio show called Theme Time Radio Hour by Bob Dylan. He did this Sirius XM show from 2006 to 2009, and Moondog is a copy of the show entirely, just down to every little bit, the topics, a little bit of trivia in between, depending on the episode. And I was looking at like radio jobs. I just Google radio jobs and I do like a skim. I don't really fucking look for anything because I thought maybe it'd be cool to, work in radio someday. I'm still trying to figure out, like, I want to be in music for the rest of my life, but where am I gonna fit career wise? And I decided, well, you know what? I don't need to. I've been in such a fuck it mentality with music in my recent years too. Whereas I used to look at, but what I do with this project, I'd be afraid of copyright and shit. But I'm like, I'm a small fish in a small pond. If copyright was going to come from me, they must be really, really desperate.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what? I'll make a radio show and call it like a pseudo radio podcast type deal, and just have something to be able to
express yourself
and just show people later.
Yeah.
But also, one of my favorite things is sharing what I think is great music. And I think there's a lot of great music out there. And so it gets my kick off to be able to share that interesting music. And it gives me the opportunity to make it fun for myself in doing so. Because at any point, I will just be like, hey, this song is great. Check it out. In just any random hangout. But,
But
at
people will
I
actually
like,
listen. This, because
now
they'll do it of their own volition.
Now I can go, this is an interesting song about this thing. There's a lot of songs about a lot of different things.
Yes.
So it really is interesting.
And that's honestly, one of my favorite things is when I like something, I want to know everything about it. I want to know what inspired it. You know what I mean? I want to know, like...
Dude, Wikipedia has been such a big help over the years. Speaking of which...
Dude!
I don't know why they still keep posting those like...
Donation?
Wikipedia runs on your donations. Yeah. No, the fuck it doesn't. You are ran by the government for a fact. That's what
WikiLeaks are, right?
Yes! So...
But literally, it's so funny you say that, because as much as I love something... If I had to like donate to something, I'm like, I love Wikipedia and what it does so much. I would give it a couple dollars. I never have because I'm stingy, but I've thought about it.
But I think about it.
I think about it, like, you know what? You guys deserve some money. I hope someone gives it to you. Scrolling,
No.
Moving on, bitch.
Like, you have enough money. I go to Taco Bell and they're like, you want to, when I was going to Hancock there, I would go to Taco Bell and they'd go, do you want to donate money to help college students? And I would go, no. Because I wasn't going to see any of that money. I was giving my money. Yeah, I was like, this is a little, like, very backstabby in a way.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay.
Like, I'm giving you my money, and you want to take more of my money for college? How about give me the meal for free?
Yeah.
I never needed the meal for free, but...
I could have used a free Taco Bell meal, and I did get a lot of free Taco Bell.
Speaking of... what's up? Free tacos should be coming right around the corner here soon with the World Series coming up.
Oh, I got all kinds of those little things. I was at a little, what was it?
Steal a base, steal a taco. I like the commercial. I at least like the commercial. If anyone steals a base. Because I look forward to that part of the World Series every year when they decide they're going to.
Do you got a favorite baseball team? I'm sorry. You finish wait.
It's right behind you.
Dodgers?
Yeah.
Right.
Family's a Dodger family.
Yeah.
Luckily, they've been good like recently. So I could actually have pride in it.
They got that pretend World Series last year, so it's cool.
They did.
Fuck yeah!
Without the audience.
Played half a season without the audience and won. All it took was all of these things falling into place for them to actually win. Super stoked for them. Are they playing? Are the Braves playing tonight? Do you know?
I don't know.
I know it's 2-1 in the.
That's true.
Regional or whatever the fuck it is. Were they ALCS, NLCS?
NLCS. We're National League.
Okay. Which is so funny. What sounds more patriotic, National or American League?
There's another South Park episode about that.
Really?
National Atheist Association, the Allied Atheist League. There's like 3 things of atheists, and their whole war is about who had the better name. Associated Atheist Alliance, that kind of stuff.
AAA.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I
have a lot of South Park
have
knowledge.
a fucking. South Park. I didn't watch South Park because I didn't understand that it was satire when I was a kid. I was just like, what are they doing? This is so stupid. I didn't like satire. Wasn't something I was a huge fan of for a long time, and I was like, this is just giving me anxiety. That's all it did. And now I'm like, oh my God, this is genius. And I was having this conversation last week with a couple of friends of mine, and I think Kylie made the point that like, I can't watch South Park sober. Like, I would need to be high to enjoy South Park. And I was like, damn, you're right. It's probably really fucking good with your
That's really good.
high.
Yeah.
I'm sober October all month, so I'm 20 days in.
It's been that long.
It's been 20 days. I only got 10 days to go. It's pretty cool.
Hell yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
That's fun. I told you I had to cut mine.
Oh yeah, cut yours short for who? Did
Primus.
You see? Primus.
Yeah,
Wow.
cut
Where'd
for
you see
Primus.
them?
Vina Robles?
Vina Robles?
Yeah.
Cool venue.
Absolutely gorgeous venue.
It's a better Santa Barbara Bowl.
It is. It is. They have a lawn there.
They have like lawn seating.
They have lawn. That lawn is, I swear by that lawn. It's the best seat in the house.
Really?
No fucking doubt. It's really funny because they were doing a Rush tribute. So they had an opener band. Then
makes sense.
Primus played Primus music. And it was great because they played John the Fisherman. And last time I saw them, they didn't play John the Fisherman.
Isn't it so? I love when a band like plays the song you want them to, even if it's an obscure one.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, luckily that one's not too obscure, but they didn't play it the last time I did see them. So I was like, God damn it, you guys.
That's one thing. I went and saw the song I was fucking listening to when I pulled up "Bad Kids" by the Black Lips.
Uh-huh.
I went and saw the Black Lips. They did not play that song, and that's like AC/DC not playing
Sure.
Back in Black or something, or Highway to Hell. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? This is one of your biggest songs.
My
How do you
uncle
not
and
play
aunt
this?
just told me a crazy story because they're really into fish, and they were telling me about a show they went to where they would follow fish around. They're part of that crowd, and
Of course.
and Fish has so much music that you literally would not hear the same song ever again. If you went to enough Fish shows, there'd be a chance you would hear one song one time and never hear it at any other show again.
Wow.
And there was one song where these people they'd bring this banner forever, and it said how many days since Fish played this song, and every show they just kept adding the numbers, and then eventually all of a sudden so my uncle and aunt were on the ground, and I guess these guys are up in these seats or whatever up here, and all of a sudden that song starts, and they drop the banner, and it flies down to the ground, and everyone on the ground grabbed the banner and just started ripping it to shreds.
Whoa! How fucking sacrificial! That sounds beautiful.
That's
How cool is that?
That's the cool thing about
I mean, Fish sucks, but that's great. I'm just kidding. I've never listened to Fish. I gather there's something like Grateful Dead, and
without the Grateful Dead.
Yeah. I think Grateful Dead. I personally believe you have to be on drugs to enjoy them. I don't enjoy them. I think I got to be high. I didn't mind the Grateful Dead song. I didn't mind the song you put on your show. The last episode on the Eyes
of the World.
episode 19, Eyes of the World.
Yeah.
But fucking didn't, it doesn't leave me with anything. I never get, I was like, oh, hell yeah. Because when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I listened to old music. I liked old classic rock. I liked old metal, old stoner metal, old psychedelic rock, old things. So Grateful Dead was right up my anal. To have a fucking Grateful Dead shirt was standard, right?
Sure.
You know what I mean? I listened to the Grateful Dead two times and have just never been more personally offended that something got so popular and was not enjoyable.
That's really funny. The thing with Grateful Dead, because I'm not a big Dead fan, I'm definitely not a Deadhead, but I'm not saying I don't like them. Everything I've heard by the Grateful Dead, I've thoroughly enjoyed. The cool thing about that band, though, is, I mean, obviously you can say this about so many bands, but
say it about this one.
It's literally just a band of really good musicians. And that's, again, that's a fucking very general statement to make. But
I mean,
it's
name two other bands that are just good musicians too. I feel like there's usually like Metallica. They have a shitty drummer,
Sure,
things
sure.
like there's weak points in a lot of
Lars is
bands.
interesting. The more I think about Lars, the more interesting he gets.
The fact that he's like not American blew my mind too. When I was like, oh yeah, Lars Ulrich, he kind of does have a tinge of an accent, and then
He's German, right?
fucking German or some shit, or like
he can't not
Dutch.
be German. Those are two German ass names. Those are Nazi ass names. Lars and Ulrich. It should be Ulrich or something.
Yeah.
He's got
Ulrich with three
it should sound
Ks.
It's an angry name. It's an angry name, and he's a bit of a. He's a bit of a. Some of the stories I've heard about like older Metallica albums, he sounds like a bit of a Nazi. Like I guess on Ride the Lightning, they completely didn't even add the bass guitar because there was so much bass in the mix of the drums. And when the engineer tried to fix the mix so the bass could fit, they thought, oh, Lars isn't going to give a fuck. He doesn't know anything. And he came back the next day and he was like, why the fuck do my drums sound the way they do? So there's so much bass in the mix of those drums that they couldn't even keep the bass in the mix from what I...
That's one of Cliff Burton's last albums. You're just gonna dick him out like that? Hurtful.
Take him out like that. I like the guy who
Should have been Lars.
I like
Everyone
the guy
says
who plays the bass now. I like when he squats.
Trujillo.
Yeah.
Is it
I like
Robert
his hair.
Trujillo?
I think so.
There's another Robert Trujillo.
The loudest concert I've ever been to was Metallica.
I've never seen Metallica.
That's a fun concert. It's just loud. But the cool thing about a show like that is the fan base, because those people love it. It's the biggest celebration in the world. I mean, that's for so many different fan bases, but for bands like Metallica that have that deep of a fan base,
Because like
Grateful Dead as well.
It
you could say a bunch of
transcends a
others.
lot of genres.
Good fucking God, it does.
Because Metallica's
enough.
like mainstream heavy metal. People from all walks of life like that shit.
It's the big difference between being famous in America and being famous in the world. Like, one of the concerts that I first got that experience with was Iron Maiden was headlining.
My God.
I've seen Iron Maiden 3 times, but
I was
it the
listening
first
to Iron
time I saw
Maiden
them.
today.
That's a good fucking band. They're cool.
I
Man, that Ace is High is something else. But it was like a festival setup. It was like a day-long thing, but the band right before them was Megadeth. And so it was one of those things where I kind of realized over time, that was the first time I ever realized that you can be worldwide famous and nationwide famous. And like Megadeth is famous in America, but they're not famous like Iron Maiden is in the world.
Listen to one. First of all, Brazilians love rock. They're crazy.
Listen
to any live performance with Iron Maiden in Brazil, the Rio de Janeiro, fucking
the Rock in Rio.
Rock in Rio. Dude, that Fear of the Dark, the entire audience is singing that shit with him. It blows the fucking
Come to Brazil.
studio.
It's like, we will. How about that?
Oh my goodness. It's just the powers. If I could see a metal band in any country, I'd see them in Brazil.
No doubt.
Brazilians are fucking crazy.
I'd love to do. I think they do Lollapalooza in Brazil.
Whoa.
I think they do. I might be wrong. Somewhere in South America.
Brazil terrifies me.
Yes.
It is terrifying. Brazilians are scary as shit. I mean that with all due respect, because I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but the jiu-jitsu I do is like really, I was talking about my coach with this, like, he's like, do we do Brazilian jiu-jitsu? He's like, I think we just do like jiu-jitsu. I think we just do like American jiu-jitsu.
Sure.
Brazilians.
You ever try Brazilian food?
No. But I'll tell you right now, Brazilians and Argentinians love their meat. And I'm fine with that. That my heart is warmed.
Yeah. Good Lord.
There's this Brazilian restaurant that just opened in Bealton. I've been wanting to try. I said there's a Brazilian restaurant
That's
that just
incredible.
opened up in Bealton. I think it's called Brazilton.
Brazil. It's like right next to industrial foods. Industrial
No,
eats.
it's next to the Habit.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It replaced the Chipotle that used to be there.
Chipotle is so replaceable.
Fuck, it breaks my heart because I love Chipotle too.
It's so funny.
They have brisket now. They have brisket at Chipotle now.
Oh, they do. You know what? Something that I used to not like Chipotle, but now I'm tolerant. But the thing about it is I'd never disliked the taste. It's just that everything tastes the same at Chipotle.
It kind of, yeah, I get it.
But the sound of brisket, I was like, oh my God. But when I saw that, I was thinking, is it going to taste like everything else?
Yeah, it might, because the chicken and steak taste the exact same. They taste like it was cooked on the same
chicken.
grill.
No, it tastes like steak.
Tastes like
hard to
I think
tell.
the steak
It's Chipotle.
tastes like chicken.
It's like, it's... How do you... Sorry, what were you going to say? I had like an unfinished thought that was just going to come out unfinished.
Yeah, that's fine.
So-
That's what I got. Well, where'd the name Moondog come from?
That's perfect. I was actually going to get back around to that too.
I want to get back
You ever
to
watch the Harmony Korine movie Beach Bum?
With Matthew McConaughey?
McConaughey,
No.
yes.
Never seen
McConaughey plays a poet named Moondog. And,
Oh, okay. That's pretty.
and his
fucking,
whole thing is he's like the most feng shui person in the world, and I like you see this Tony Soprano right here.
Of course, been staring.
I
at
had
it all
an
night.
idea because this is a little smaller than I thought it was going to be on this wall.
I understand.
Over on the left side, I'm going to print out a picture of Alf because I think Alf looks funny.
You,
And I was thinking
could
I was
kill
gonna-
Alf if Alf was real.
Alf,
I wanna hunt
canonically
Alf.
speaking, they do say that Alf gets killed at the end of the show. So
Good.
technically, he's supposed to, because the government finds him, and they were going to do like a cliffhanger and do a final season where he was going to finally get to go home.
Whoa.
But they got dropped. So they did like a movie 10 years later where he's like helping the government. But diehard Alf fans are like, no, we're just going to assume that he was
Killed.
and taken for his organs and experimented on.
I could choke Alf out on principle alone.
That's why I want him up there. He's
The fact that you like
He's
Alf makes
humbling.
me mad.
So Alf there, Tony right there, and Moondog on the right.
That's beautiful.
Because Moondog is like, he's such a perfect character. He's such a fucking.
Is he like the new Big Lebowski, Jeff Lebowski rather, the dude?
Yes, yeah. But nobody knows. People have seen The Beach Bum on Hulu, like the title, but nobody's watched it.
Yeah, no,
But-
it's hard to want to watch it.
I mean, fucking
It looks derivative.
Zac Efron is in it. Martin Lawrence is in it.
Oh,
Snoop
I'll watch
Dogg,
it for Martin Lawrence.
Jimmy Buffett. Martin Lawrence scene is great. It's a very, very interesting movie. It's one of those ones though where I do understand why people wouldn't like it, but there's nothing. It is a little derivative, but it's
Is there anything in this world that you can understand why people don't like it?
can understand why people don't like it?
Can't. Like they're like, how do you not like this? I don't understand.
I don't know.
I know it's kind of a bit of a thinker because you got to think of the scope of the whole known universe and the world and culture and
Well,
in any capacity.
I
but
think I don't like to think
that's okay.
because I think a lot, but I don't.
Is that
like
a Grateful
to think.
Dead shirt?
Huh?
Is that a Grateful Dead shirt?
No, this is a Riot Society shirt.
Okay.
This is just a.
I just noticed because
Probably
I was
something from, like,
part of the
Tilly's.
Grateful Dead thing. I was like,
The bears.
I love, the like gummy bear looking motherfuckers. So cool. I would wear Grateful Dead's one of those bands where it's like, I would wear the shirt and not listen to them. I think to me, their clothes, their shirts, and
Well, if you need to name
are
3
better.
songs: "Eyes of the World," "Box
don't-
of Rain,"
nah.
"Alabama Getaway,"
Nah,
that'll get you away with it.
that's bullshit. I'd say I never remember any until I'm on acid.
They're important to the acid world too. Very, very interconnected. Like to the. I mean, this is just fucking. To people that know about the Grateful Dead, this is literally like.
Nothing.
This is retelling
Yeah.
a story that's been told over and over.
Oh,
but
well, guess what? I doubt people listen to this podcast and the Grateful Dead.
that's really funny. But they were linked to the early acid tests. I forget. I think it was up in the Bay Area. I think is where they're from. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna get grilled somewhere. Someone's gonna come into Sparks and be like, "Oh yeah, Grateful Dead's not from the Bay Area, stupid. You work in a music store, you don't know who the Grateful Dead is? You should just quit your job."
Someone coming into a music store talking to me about Grateful Dead sounds like I'm stuck in fucking with a fifth ring of hell or something.
There was
old white men talking to me about music that came out when they were young. Fucking, it's like the equivalent of like one of those swag kids trying to talk to me about like fucking Soulja Boy. It's like, you need to shut the fuck up.
Listen, man.
I know this is your whole
Cookie
world.
Monster hat saved my life.
How did the Cookie Monster hat go from like a swag thing to like a white trash like tweaker kids thing? What the fuck is that? You're like, it's always like they always had that. Then they had those fucking Skytop Osiris's, and they had like the horrible like pajama pants, dude. It's a fucking look. It's so weird. It's like how all of the white trash, like junkies kids, you know, just the trailer gutter trash white people all ended up fucking wearing those and dressing like that. It's like they all came out of a factory and everyone just like, okay, wear this, you're garbage. You can't tell me anyone who didn't wear some sort of fucking Sesame Street like ironic hat or pajamas, pants in some capacity didn't have methamphetamine in or around their household growing up.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Speechless. I got him.
It's like,
that's a mic drop.
You know
right
what
there.
I do like though is I like those people's taste in music.
Yeah,
it's
Why?
always, you know,
it's ICP, and
I've come around to ICP over the years.
that's disgusting.
I've come around to them. I don't go out of my way, but I'm not going to shy away and say that Hocus Pocus isn't fire.
My mom puts
it is.
this ICP song on when she's at bars because she thinks it.
It's going to get people riled up.
Well, because she thinks it like upsets people, but I don't think she realizes like every piece of trash in Lompoc likes ICP. Everyone's probably like, "Oh, I know this song. This is good." You know, she's like, "Watch."
I think I heard this song before.
My mom's like, "The song's vulgar. It's gonna, you know, really piss them off." And I'm like, "No, it's not, Mom. They like this dumb, horrible shit."
You said earlier one thing that you can't understand why people like something or why they don't.
Oh
like
yeah, I was
something.
gonna ask what's something you don't understand people not liking.
Oh, because I was gonna say, speaking of trash songs, one song I don't understand people liking is Colt 45 by Afro Man. But that's just a personal. That's just a personal take. I'm not.
Yeah, not a lot. I couldn't.
Colt 45 Tuesday.
Yeah.
Hey, put this song on. People are going to get turned and lit. How about
because
expand your vocabulary and come back to me.
That's one thing that
I'd rather
really used to upset me. I used to hate rap and hip hop. I thought
I like everything except for rap and country. It's one of my favorite sentences anyone's ever uttered.
Well, but what they mean is they don't like the radio. I know what those people are saying because I used to be that person. I was like, you can play anything you want except rap and country, because it's like, think about if there's no rap and there's no country, there's still 3 million music genres that no one. And it's also bullshit because as soon as I put on grindcore, they're like, "What the fuck is that?" You know, they're like, they'd much rather have Wiz Khalifa than, you know, Burzum or some shit like that.
I mean, because 100%, my least favorite stations have always been Popular Country Channel and Popular Hip Hop Channel, because if I had to choose the set list for the day, it wouldn't start with Doja Cat and Megan Thee Stallion. You know, a lot of times it's Tribe Called Quest.
Oh my god, dude!
Midnight
That's a band.
Marauders,
That's a group I didn't appreciate until they lost one of their members. Five Dog. Yeah. That when they on Dave Chappelle's SNL.
Yeah.
When they point the mics to his portrait during his lines in the song was like such a powerful feeling in a capacity where I had never listened to them. I had never appreciated them. I didn't understand the scope of a Tribe Called Quest. You got a nice cramp going there?
No, I crossed my legs and squeezed my balls.
Don't fucking act like you have balls. Jesus.
I tried to think of something good to say that was funny, but I couldn't.
That's okay.
It's like, ooh.
That's my whole show. Me not saying things that are funny. Yeah, but that was one of my favorite moments on SNL ever.
Oh man.
It's like a.
I like when Norm Macdonald said, Prince is now going by the artist, but I will still refer to him as the Fruit. Musicians going on tour this month: the Pixies, Weezer, and the Fruit.
That's you can't say that anymore. That's
no,
fucking,
you can't say that.
You know what? That's what the one strong part about SNL still is the fucking Weekend Update.
I do like Michael Che and
Colin Jost.
Colin Jost. Colin Jost is.
I used to like
Scarlett
Colin Jost.
Johansson.
Now I just envy him.
For being with Scarlett Johansson
Yep.
or for being funny? Or both?
Well, I don't envy people for being funny. I love when people are funny. It makes me want to be funny myself and be
no
funnier.
doubt.
And it's very inspiring.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah,
That's a
Well,
very,
it was
a very admirable trait. In
I had
humans.
a very toxic mentality about it when I was younger. I used to hate, like when I was in class.
Feel free to take more cookies.
And I
as
wasn't.
Much as you want, by the way.
Thank you. I'm thinking about it. Believe me.
Down.
Fucking, I used to, if I was the class clown, or at least I thought I was, and someone else was like funnier, I hated them. Or like they got the laugh, when they got the big laugh in class, hated them.
Sure.
Envied that person, was like, fuck you, I'm funnier, you know, fucking. I couldn't handle it.
You can't be too mad at yourself as a child as well, though.
Yeah, you can.
Learning how to process that kind of thing.
Nah, what a dumb kid. I was very hard on myself as a kid.
Oh, I'm hard on myself to this day. So.
I'm not hard on myself anymore. It's really embarrassing.
Hell yeah. I'm glad you made it out. It's a fucking hard world.
Like I was so much harder on myself and it kind of really, I think it hurt me and it kind of handicapped me, like growing up. You know, I was like, oh, I'm not as smart as I want to be, or I'm not the smartest one or the funniest one. So like, this is bad or something's wrong. And I used to like just get so angry and depressed about it. And it was like super, like my insecurities were all like very high standards, not like unhappiness with myself necessarily.
Yes. You wouldn't reach the fucking goal that you had envisioned that you could possibly make it to and didn't realize that there was wiggle room.
Yep.
And when you didn't make it there, you're just like, well, if I can't fucking get there, I guess I just can't get anywhere.
Yeah, there was this kid named exactly. You just give up. You know, it's just like
No doubt.
totally
Yeah.
hinders that. You know,
I was
stunts
saying
your
boat
ambition.
until like recently in life.
Man, it's hard. It's a hard one to shake.
It took Moondog, not
Yeah.
doing the radio, but fucking like watching that guy,
Isn't-
watching that movie was like my final, because I was getting to a point where I was more comfortable by then. But as soon as I saw that, I was released.
Mm-hmm.
And it was. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, the actions are. If you go watch Beach Bum at any point, the actions are crazy and extreme in some people's cases. In other people's cases,
I'm gonna
they're
watch
just
this
fun.
movie now.
They're fucking. It's so fucking cool. I love it. At least. Anyone at home? Harmony Korine, Beach Bum featuring McConaughey.
Harmony Korine.
Gotta say, McConaughey. Absolutely.
For governor.
I'm not one to be too into like actors or anything, but if I had to make a list, McConaughey's top 10 for sure.
That's cool.
I like McConaughey a lot.
Another edgy white guy point, but
Another edgy white guy. Yes, I do have
True
a lot
Detective
of those.
season 1.
Tribe Called Quest, Kanye West, jazz music, McConaughey. I'll start naming all the fucking like all those like indie bands. Like, you ever listened to Pavement before? Fillmore Drive, come on.
I'm more of a basement guy.
More of a basement guy. So I'm into Mom Jeans. What's that dumbass? I don't like those. I don't like bands of those names.
Oh, with like those like cringy, ironic names.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what's that Weezer song where they're talking about like some old show and Buddy Holly and shit?
So these homies dissing my girl. You know, it's Buddy Holly. Listen to that album recently too, because I've been playing so much with Brett lately, and we were doing Brett Randall and I would do gigs, and we'd be playing a couple songs off of Blue, and I hadn't listened to Blue in like 5 years.
It's so funny
And I
that
turned it on again.
to
It was
you
just
that's
like-
the Blue album.
When I turned that thing on again, I was like, holy fucking shit. That thing, I understand why people are so obsessed. I understand why people think it's virgin music, but I also understand why it's so fucking
virgin
loved. Virgin music. That's my favorite kind of music.
Virgin
Steely
music.
Dan.
Oh yeah,
Miles
that
Davis.
big fucking Verge music, Steely Dan.
One of the best concerts I'd ever seen was Steely Dan.
How funny, man!
Fucking classy show, man.
Named after a chick's vibrator.
Oh my god, those guys are such dorks.
Who else is like Steely Dan? Ween. That's Virgin music.
I love Ween.
I love Ween too.
I'm a huge Wiener.
Wheeze, Wiener. They have all these like double E names.
I almost listened to even more pretentious white guy. I almost listened to their album White Pepper all the way through yesterday while doing work in this house.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anyone that can name a Ween album, let alone a Ween song that isn't Ocean Man. Even
I was going to
Ocean
say,
Man
even Ocean Man, like that's the only one I can name off the top of my head.
But even that's the one, even people go, huh? Really? That's Ween? It's
Yeah, when I heard that and I went, I know this song, this is Ween. That's kind of random. It was my good buddy Nolan Kendall who showed me that.
Nolan. I winked at him during a gig.
I was drunk in his car and he showed me Ween and I was like, wait, what the fuck? This is Ween?
Those guys are. I was actually watching. They had filmed a show they did recently in Las Vegas, and it was like a 3-hour show. And
speaking of, we got a show to go to tonight.
What time does that start?
It's definitely already started, but DRI isn't on for another hour.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Cool.
we're good.
I can live with
We're
that.
okay.
Speaking of Ween, I have to take a piss again really quick.
That's fine. Let's pause this bitch. I got to piss too. Keep going.
When I first started Moondog, it actually was it was discussion, conversation based, and so the episodes were so much longer than I wanted them to be. And but it was one of those things. Like I said, if you really want to know what Moondog is, go listen to Theme Time Radio by Bob Dylan. They have all the episodes online and on YouTube, and they're fantastic. So I'm just stealing the format. I'm stealing every part of it.
Nice.
But the whole purpose really behind it is I have all sorts of music projects I work on.
Yeah.
And all sorts of things that I devote my time to, but I've done a lot of dabbling, and I've never sought out a full project. And I've tried different things. I've tried all sorts of avenues in music, and I still do like I stick with jazz a lot of the time these days. I record folks, and for a minute,
do that at Certain Sparks, or
yeah, I'm eventually gonna start doing it just upstairs up here when we get everything built.
Oh, dude, it looks like it's supposed to be music studio, like a studio.
Oh, I know,
like a recording space.
A shag rug in there.
Oh, dude, it seriously, like as soon as I walked in, the wood paneling on the wall, like everything, I was like, this is where music and drugs are made and consumed.
I want to make the new Fleetwood Mac albums. Or just people walk in, they hate each other, but they're just doing drugs and making some of the best music that's ever been on the radio.
That's awesome.
No, but yeah, so I record down there at Certain Sparks, and so I tried to pursue a DJ career for a minute, and I was producing like house music and stuff, and I've been DJing for a long time in my life, and I still do, but I'm not trying to pursue it anymore. Mm-hmm. And I've had all these ideas and projects, but I never was back to this like the old fucking thing where the high standard thing.
Yeah,
I've had that for myself for a long time, and so if I didn't get to where I really wanted to be, I just couldn't see it out. And then after last year, I was starting to actually kind of make a little bit of headway with DJing stuff. I did my first like real club show. I had done a few club shows, but I did my first real EDM club show in Santa Barbara, March 5th.
There's something you need to be on drugs to enjoy too. The reason I probably don't get it is because I'm not on drugs.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
You like the Crystal Method?
Crystal Method's cool.
Okay.
Crystal Method.
I was
Crystal
listening.
Method, Crystal Castles are both cool.
Right.
I
was listening to Crystal Method on the way here.
Crystal Method is really cool. I really unironically, like the ones that people always name, like Dead Mouse, Skrillex. Those guys are fucking killers.
Are they?
Those guys are such killer. They just have such good ears for what they do. Really, Deadmau5, has ears on a helmet. But those guys both know sound really well. Everything else, though, is really dumb. 1, 2, 3. Wah, 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 wah. It's fucking dumb.
That was dubstep. That was perfect. That was great.
And there's cool people in all sorts of facets, but most EDM, I think, at this night, I've gotten to the point over the years where I'm just like, this is fucking stupid. It's like, I'm not going to sit here and at night and go, long day. It's like, no, it's Nina Simone's coming on, Van Morrison's coming on.
Actual instruments are coming.
Yeah, I need to hear.
That's my high snobiety thing. I need real instruments to be played.
My go-to right now would totally be what record would I put on at this moment? Asia by Steely Dan is on my deck at home right now.
I gotta check that out.
I did just get a copy of Quincy Jones's The Dude on vinyl.
Okay.
And it was in the clearance section for $1, which I thought was really preposterous. Why is The Dude in the clearance section? That's a good album. It's a really great album. But anywho, Moondog is my excuse to see a project out, and so it started conversation based, but I stopped that.
So
a few episodes.
Did you had guests or people on to talk?
Yeah, there was guests up until episode 11, and then 12 and 13 I think were
breaking the mold.
Yeah, because those were recorded before episode 11 was, and then 14 on there's no guests. 15 there's a guest because that was recorded too, but I tried to veer away from the guest because the whole point of the show is to share the music.
Guests were interrupting it.
It wasn't the interrupting. It was just that over time it just became. It became so.
It wasn't what you were going for.
Yes, I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be more geared towards the music. I wanted to actually talk about interesting things, and so I do half-assed little things in between, like the coffee episode. That's right before Eyes. I had a whole little bit where I was like, here's some facts about Bobby Darin, here's some facts about this singer LMA Morse, and there's a part where I was like, here's some things you can do with your coffee, and I found a list on Google, and one of them was you could use it, you could put it in your barbecue sauce, and I went, what? And I put
coffee rub, things like that.
The sound bit of Tim Allen in Home Improvement going, and shit.
Something that shouldn't be funny. Tim Allen.
How does he make the noise? I make the noise every day, and then the moment I want to make it, I can't.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the way Justice is. His whole All Men Are Pigs special is literally just him making those.
Just making more noises? Is that his?
Men and women are different. Men.
It's a
whole fucking special.
Here's a TikTok I saw, and it said, "This is just for my male followers," and it was just a guy flipping a yoga ball, and it would flip, and it did that weird thing because the yoga ball has all the, I don't know what the physics are, but it looks like it does a double jump in the air, and there's girls in the comments I don't get it, and all the guys are like, nice, cool,
hey, nice.
I don't fucking get it.
Jeez.
My favorite thing used to be making monkey noises.
I have to mentally make them to get amped up for things. I have to think I'm like a caveman.
It's like the scene in Grown Ups when they got Buscemi to go on the fucking thing upside down on the you slide on the zip line and fall into the water. And they're you should go on upside down. And he's like, I don't think it's a good idea. And they're like, come on, man, you're an animal. And he's like, yeah, you're an animal. He's like, I'm an animal. I'm an animal. And he got on. He fucking hooked his legs in, and he couldn't get out in time. He fucking crashes through the shed and ends up in a body cast the rest of the movie.
I remember that, but I don't remember it being Buscemi.
I think it was Buscemi.
Was it not Spade? It wasn't Spade. It was Buscemi.
No, I think it was Buscemi.
Buscemi's too expensive.
I think it was Colin Quinn making him on.
Fuck yeah. Well, Colin Quinn was in Hubie Halloween too.
Thank you for saying. I was about to bring up Hubie Halloween.
Oh, dude, it's one of the best movies for Halloween right now.
Oh my god!
I haven't watched a single horror movie, but I've watched Hubie Halloween this October, and that's saying something. I am a horror movie. I have a horror movie tattoo on me. You know what I mean? I'm fucking for real about that shit. I haven't watched a single scary like October-y Halloween
I haven't
type movie
watched
at all.
Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin in ages.
Oh.
I haven't watched through all of A Nightmare Before Christmas for years.
I've only seen it
But
once.
I've watched Hubie Halloween 3 times this year.
That's beautiful. It's so good.
The
fact that
love Adam
fucking
Sandler.
Hal, what's his name? What's his name? Ben Stiller's character from Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Came through, like that. The fact that he's like that opens the movie is so fucking good.
I know. I what was I thinking about this? Because I was thinking about stuff. I guess back to things I can't understand people liking, and that'd probably be one of those things a lot of people would say is like Adam Sandler movies. I don't understand why people like them. They're so stupid, and it's like you missed the point entirely. That is the point.
They're hilarious. They're stupid.
They're so
you don't
stupid.
have
I
to
know.
be so highbrow about everything. Just enjoy something. That's
Dude.
something where you're not Mr. fucking
no, I fucking
high
It's
fidelity.
like, you're gonna watch another Adam Sandler movie where he talks like this? Yes, I am gonna watch another Adam Sandler movie where he talks like this. It's my favorite thing for Adam Sandler to do.
Okay.
When he talks like this.
Fucking what's your what do you think is an underrated Adam Sandler movie? I think That's My Boy is doesn't get the love it
That's
could.
my boy for sure.
Don't mess with the Zohan.
Don't mess with the Zohan. The one that he did with Farley in SNL where they were the old couple reading through the Zagat. I know it's not a movie, but it's the sketch. Where Farley is like, let's look through the Zagat. We're going to dinner tonight. You would say like, oh, this great Italian restaurant. Holy cannoli. And then Adam Sandler was like, I want to kill myself.
Who's the wife? Is that
It was Farley.
Okay.
Farley's the wife, and Sandler was the
That's right.
fed up husband.
I think I'm confusing it for the other one with Spade. When they're all in drag.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Farley's like, these fries are so good. And Spade's like, hey, don't you want to save some fries for the rest of us? And Farley's like, shut up, I'm starving.
Fucking amazing.
What was that one movie with Sandler where he was that one guy who ran that like pizza restaurant in the middle of nowhere and someone died. I don't know. He was like a really nice guy, and he got like this.
Yeah. Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds. That's The
That's way
underrated.
you described that and what I thought of made such a more romantic movie. I wish it was what I thought, but Mr. Deeds is great.
Mr. Deeds
I
is
love that
underrated.
movie.
Darling Nikki is under. What was the Little
Nicky? Little Nicky's
Darling
my
Nikki,
favorite.
That's
for
Prince.
Sure.
It's a Prince song.
Oh, that's something I don't understand.
Prince?
Why people like. Prince is so. Prince and
You mean the fruit?
John Mayer. Yeah, the fruit and John Mayer. Just like I get nothing from them.
Prince is an incredible musician.
So is John Mayer.
John Mayer is an incredible musician.
But like when they are on and like I'm listening to their music, it's like falling asleep music. It's
John
like,
Mayer. I'm still trying to figure out John Mayer. Prince.
When I hear Purple Rain, I
is-
go, you people loved this song. This was the shit. You are sad when he died, Purple Rain. Purple Rain. I'm
That guy is a
fucking,
fucking-
my mind is still blown.
Oh,
I don't get it.
He's a machine.
I don't
Prince
get it.
Is
Prince isn't even big enough to be a machine. My microwave is bigger than Prince. Especially now. He's probably in a box.
Prince is probably is deteriorated to dust at this point.
Yeah.
Now that guy has a serious work ethic. He's a badass though. He was very ahead on a lot of revolutionary musical ideas and shit. Like I think he's the first
Like what?
person to release anything on iTunes.
Really?
Yeah, just one of those guys who's
So
able
he
to
ruined
stretch
music.
himself.
He ruined analog music. That son of a bitch.
He didn't like his music compressed, which is funny though because I think iTunes automatically compresses everything.
Yeah.
So
Nate's fucking texting me.
hi Nate.
And we're going to see him in a minute if you just fucking relax.
Prince is just he was super ahead with technology for sure. That was a big part of that. I don't know if I could explain the appeal of the music, but I can talk that guy up to a room full of people.
I like Miami Sound Machine more than I like Prince.
You ever hear of Yellow Magic Orchestra? Those guys are really crazy with
Yellow
technology.
Magic Orchestra. No.
They're a Japanese electronic band that helped pioneer the idea of like electronic music.
Yeah.
What was I fishing for? They're great. I mean, you know, they're probably like the Japanese version of like Kraftwerk in a sense.
What's the American version of Kraftwerk then?
The American version of Kraftwerk is Devo.
Okay.
Just based on the time.
Great point. Hey guys.
Speaking of which, Devo is right next to us.
Oh no, it's Devo.
Oh no, it's Devo. They
all look like the same exact person.
just a bunch of pretentious white guys.
Dude, no, seriously. Like if you were
And Boogie Boy in the middle.
like if you were, I don't know, from Honduras, and you were like, how many people are on this cover? You go, that's the same guy. That's the same guy 6 times. You
The
go,
guy
no,
on
no,
the
no,
right
they're a
looks
little different.
like John Lurie from the Lounge Lizards.
I don't know
which
what
is
the hell you just said
a
to me.
further
John Lurie
deeper,
sounds
pretentious jazz project I can talk about.
These look like the 5 guys who almost made it into the army.
I don't think they stood a chance. I think they went in front of the recruiter's office and they were like, hobby shops across the way.
They look like they wouldn't make the draft because they'd walk in and the recruiter would say no faggots and they just like wouldn't be able to join the army. They all look like they're either gonna marry a black woman or join the National
They don't
Socialist
look like Bill
Party.
Burr.
That looks like Bill Burr right there.
Oh, he does kind of look like Bill Burr.
That's the one. He's
Bill
like
Burr with hair.
yeah, overrated or underrated. Bill Burr with hair.
I'm sorry, she
Love his spiky red
and
hair.
her wife threw her titties in my hand. You grabbed her. I saw you. Another Chappelle. Bill Burr moment.
I gotta go back and
You do?
rewatch. I think
It's-
that's how he met his wife was through that show.
How cool.
Yeah.
That's funny. Good on him. Good on you, Billy.
Keep talking. I'm texting
you're
Nate. Tell him to
texting
go fuck
Nate.
himself.
My bad.
Yeah,
No, I forgot what I was going to say earlier.
that's okay.
Did I finish the Moondog thought? I probably did. I think I said everything I need to say about Moondog.
Jesus, he will not stop.
Damn, Nate.
Damn,
Get
Nate.
a drink. Get a beer.
No, he said he literally asked if I could give him a ride to the liquor store because he's not spending $5 on a drink.
That's really funny.
That's really funny because I don't spend any money on drinks.
Not in October?
Not in
when you go
October.
over?
Every time I go out, I'm like, "Can I have a big Coke?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Sure." How much owe you? They're like, "Nah,
that's
it's fine. You're
awesome.
fine." And I go, "Cool. I'll tip them $1 or $2." I'm like,
Sure,
"Yeah,
sure.
you know,
Tip your
thank you.
bartender.
Appreciate it.
Tip your bartender. It's awesome. My favorite thing is like just popping over to Sham because Brett would be like, I'm playing.
Yeah.
And he's drinking pineapple juice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, what he gets pineapple juice, and then there's another thing. It's like their version of Red Bull. It comes out of the little spout, little
They
hose.
make their own Red Bull?
It's like it's called Turbo. I think it's called Turbo. I walk up and
no.
I just like, hey, can I have a cup of Turbo now? Brett turned me onto it.
Is it good?
I mean, yeah, if you're not drinking and you like to have a fucking little caffeine boost,
I
dude, it's
guess I'll
great.
have a cup of turbo tonight at DRI.
Dude, we should go get some.
That sounds like a great idea.
Do you want to wrap this shit up?
Sure, we can wrap it up right
We should
whenever
do-
you want.
I'm really having a good time. I don't
Yeah,
want to cut
so
this
am
short.
I.
We should have a part 2 soon.
I would love to do a part 2 Love to do a part 2 at any time. You know exactly how to find me. It's easy.
It was actually pretty easy, yeah.
So,
I've never even been to this side of the village.
yeah,
I had no idea it was here.
right?
was
Yeah, it took me
I saw an apartment complex. I was like, we have apartments up here? What the fuck?
Yeah, those are nice apartments.
Yeah,
It's nice up here. Interesting.
pretty cool.
I don't know why I'm like saying, oh, it's surprising that it's nice.
I know,
It's not
this is where
surprising.
this is where all
It really
the
is
like
nice,
snobby
though.
kids lived when I was
Oh,
going to high school.
fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
Thought they were better because no one was getting stabbed at their school. Fuck off.
They were funnier than me.
They're funnier than me. The sons of bitches.
They're funnier than me.
Well,
Lay off. I'm starving.
Sean Causby,
Yes.
thank you for being on my podcast.
Thanks for allowing me to spew nonsense on your podcast. but
If you
mostly
didn't
to
do
your
it,
face.
I was gonna do it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Let's do another one soon, and maybe in November we can do number 2.
Yeah, I'd love to. That'd be fantastic. Yeah. Anytime.
Anytime?
Anytime at all.
Nah,
I'm willing to whenever you want me to.
All right, man. Thanks for talking.
No doubt.
Later.